I'm Juliet Litman.
And I'm David Jacoby.
David Jacoby live in Los Angeles. How is it? Have you been to Erewhon yet?
Of course I've been to Erewhon. Of course.
You have? Wow.
Yes, and it's gotten to
oh my
the
God,
point
what'd you got?
where my kids know about Erewhon, so my kids are like requesting Erewhon, and they asked me to get the cat's eye smoothie. Quick Erewhon PFN before we get started. Wow, the ceramics. I know you love ceramics, but that mug is top notch. Number two.
Oh my God, thank
you. Is my kids know about Erewhon, and my daughter wasn't coming with us. I was going to go pick up smoothies, and she goes, "Can you get me the cat's eye smoothie?" And I'm like, "Are you sure there's a cat's eye smoothie?" I'm like, "Okay." One big problem that I have with Erewhon, and we'll move on. They don't explain what the smoothies are. They just have names. So I'm
really
in line.
Like there's no description menu?
Well, of course there is, but like it's a small piece of paper that's not prominently featured. So when you look up at the big board, it's just names. And I couldn't find the piece of paper until later. And then as we were about to order, I found the piece of paper and the font was really small for my eyeballs. And I just panicked and just ordered something by name. And it was fantastic. Some mango smoothie.
Cat's Eye, like for the band, right? Like the group. Okay, cool. Two quick things. A, I assume your kids know about Erewhon from Food News, since they're probably our most devoted listeners. Yes. That's awesome. Number two, this is a mug by Isabel Souza. Check it out. Shop isabelsouza.com. It's a really, really awesome mug. It's big, so I can have a lot of coffee. All right, let's get into today's show with all of our news stories. This episode of Food News is presented to you by olive oils from Spain. Behind every extraordinary flavor, there's something deeper. Land, time, craftsmanship, and the hands of generations infused in every golden drop. That's the recipe for sabor that takes you on a journey. So the next time you're reaching for an extra virgin olive oil, reach for Spain. Taste the flavor of a country all in a drop. Learn more at oliveoilsfromspain.org/all in a drop. I also need to do one thing real quick.
Do it, no problem.
Like a quick behind the scenes.
Don't worry. Oh, yeah.
We're doing it on air. Food news.
I told you someone said that to me in the wild.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Panda Express, Jacoby. I haven't had it in a long time. When did you last have it?
You know what? I've been so close to having it so many times, but I don't think I've actually eaten Panda Express for about a year.
A year? That's very short. I can't remember the last time I had it. Like college? 20 years?
Really?
It's been a really long time for me. Yeah, because in what scenario am I choosing Panda Express? I guess it's like airport or bust. Like, when else am I having Panda Express?
You don't get a lot of standalone Panda Expresses in your life.
Yeah.
There's not
That's
many.
What I'm saying.
There's not many. They're usually surrounded by other options. I will be eating a lot more Panda Express based on what I learned prepping for this news item.
Yeah. So the Today Show spoke with the CEOs of Panda Express. As producer Mike noted, we are so hot on the fast food CEO beat. We should rename the podcast to Fast Food CEO News.
Yes.
And I'll get a new sign. Food News.
But this is completely different.
Completely different. Andrew and Peggy Chung, they are the co-CEOs of Panda Express. They are also married to each other. They both emigrated from China. He came first, and then she came to meet him shortly thereafter. Really lovely story. I recommend watching this video from the Today Show. I enjoyed seeing them. And they were specifically asked how they feel about their critics, like the people who say that Panda Express isn't real Chinese food. And Jacoby, I know you took a real shine to these people, so tell us, what do they think about their haters who say that Panda Express is not real Chinese food?
They have some great quotes about that, because I went deep on this relationship because I love them so much. But
wow.
Basically, they were like, we know it's not authentic Chinese food. And one of the things I love that they said is we let the customers decide the menu. We put out what sells. So really don't blame us for not being authentic Chinese food. We are American Chinese food. And we basically, to quote another great podcast, give the people what they want. And when I saw they were a married couple CEO, I assumed, like all of the dozens of other CEOs that we talk about on this podcast, that they're part of the sort of like rotating musical chairs of fast food CEOs. But that's not the case. They've been married 15 years. You said she came over. They met in college here in the States. And Andrew Chung started in 1973 with his father, Ming Tsai Chung, they opened up Panda Inn in Pasadena, California. Now, one of the places near and dear to our hearts is the Americana, right? Which is right next to the Glendale Galleria, right?
Correct.
When they were opening
where they have Panda Express. That's the last one I can imagine seeing.
No, so here's what happened is when they were opening up the Galleria, the person who was sort of like in charge of the project loved Panda Inn. So he went to Andrew and he's like, why don't you do a version of this at the Galleria? So 1973, they opened the Panda Inn. 1983, the Galleria opens. That's the very first Panda Express. And then,
wow. So every time I saw that Panda Express, I was seeing the first one ever?
The OG Panda Express.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
And when I saw a married couple CEO, I was so fascinated by that. I was like, oh, they must work really good together. I assumed they were hired to run Panda Express, but no, like he started Panda Express. He is
Mr. Panda Express.
They founded Panda Express. So like when I saw the headline, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I don't really think of it as authentic. I would never like, it's good food, whatever. When I eat Panda Express, I'm not like, this is authentic Chinese food. But learning about this couple and their family, they have 3 daughters. I know at least, it says 3 daughters work there. I know at least one of them has like an official position. I just found this fascinating. And like, there's so much cool stuff about it. They like, here we go. However, in an interview with the Seattle Times newspaper in 2008, he said he would not be interested in making the company public. I love this, saying they did not need the money and citing concerns with the trouble and expense of dealing with shareholders. They're like, I started Panda Express. I don't want other people up in my stuff. I don't need the money. They bought a home in Hawaii. They bought a former Mandarin Oriental hotel on the Vegas Strip. They lived in Hawaii. Now they live in Henderson, Nevada. I don't know what is going on with these people, but I want them in my life.
So they moved to Vegas.
I love them so much.
That's interesting. If I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't move to Vegas, but hey, I respect them. His exact quote was, I take no offense at all. I don't know what authenticity is because there's so many cuisines out there. I also love that because I love like turning authenticity on its head. It's a word that people use constantly. And him just being like, authenticity doesn't exist.
I love it.
It's great for this era. The Today Show really honed in on the orange chicken, which is like the dish they're most known for. And that's the one where they're sort of like, the people want it, so we're going to keep serving it. Yes. Like, we have no problem with it. It is based on a Hunan Chinese dish that is popular. It's a citrus-flavored dish. And their chef, Andy Cow, created that in 1987. But, Jacoby, do you remember how much orange chicken Panda Express sold in 2025?
Off the top of my head? Oh, in 2025?
It's an absurd number.
15 million pounds or something?
148 million pounds of orange chicken.
That's insane. I can't even close my eyes and imagine what 140 million pounds of chicken looks like. I can't even imagine
Me
that.
neither.
Like, that's absolutely insane. And I was driving around because it's Los Angeles and I saw a billboard. This is before I even knew this story was going to be in the rundown. I was going to fall in love with this couple and want to be adopted by them. They've got a huge billboard they have spicy orange chicken now. And before I even knew this was going to be on the show, I was like, you know what? You should probably have like a spicy version of most of your menu items. You know?
Wow,
like,
that's interesting.
It's okay. Like, did you ever see the movie about the guy that created Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
No, I did not.
Fascinating film.
It's funny you mentioned that. Today when I was thinking about what to do for our taste test, I went to like a grocery store and I was perusing the chips. I almost went for 4 different kinds of Flamin' Hots to see if I could handle it. But I decided to do something different.
It's like cutting. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I did. I didn't end up doing it. I was trying to do it for content.
You know what? I appreciate your commitment to this. I really do. You put yourself through that just for the listeners of Food News and watchers.
Okay, Jacobs, let's move on to a story. It's more of an editorial from the Washington Post. It's by a woman named Tamar Haspel. The headline is, "We should stop eating lettuce, cyclospora or not." Now, you are one of the top salad eaters that I know, mostly because of the convenience through various apps.
Yes.
P.S. A Sweetgreens on the Upper West Side has been closed because of live cockroaches found inside the store. So just want to let everyone know about that.
Also, my allegiance has now been turned to Just Salad because guess who owns Just Salad?
Who?
The Churns. Continue.
They do?
Yeah. dude, I love these people. Google these people if you're listening to this, because I'm fascinated by them. And I would like to write a screenplay about their lives, but there's no tension or conflict because it's just perfection. It's not a good story.
You would have to name it like Orange Chicken or something. It would just be like getting people to accept orange chicken. But it doesn't sound like it was hard. It's just delicious.
No, yeah.
Okay, so this woman named Tamar Haspel makes the case against eating lettuce altogether. And I wanted to give you a couple of her bullet points, and I want you to tell me, as a big salad eater, what you think about this. Because the whole thing is a little bit tongue-in-cheek. But the gist of it is that she says there is no nutrition to lettuce. She says Americans eat about 14 grams of lettuce per day, and 95% of it is water. So only 5% of your lettuce is actually lettuce, is how she puts it. 95% is something you could be consuming straight from the tap, and the other 5% is a leafy green. She says lettuce is a vehicle for transferring refrigerated water from farm to table. That's a real jab.
That's a bar.
Yeah, exactly. And then she adds on that all that water doesn't leave much room for nutrition. Your daily 14 grams of lettuce has 1/4 of a gram of fiber. It has only a bit of your daily potassium and a few smidgens of other minerals and vitamins. You have to eat a ton of lettuce for it to deliver anything to you. And that it basically is just a mechanism for eating other things that are not so healthful, but you feel better about it mentally because you're having it on lettuce. So what I asked her, and then she also adds that growing lettuce is pretty bad for the environment, and that there's, if you wanted to cut down on greenhouse gases and think about more efficient farming, you could move away from it. So other than that, and by the way, I didn't know this until I read the article, but this woman lives on Cape Cod, where I currently am. Oh. So of course, has even more resonance for me. She said that she couldn't grow lettuce here. I think it is kind of hard because of the climate. Anyway, I ask you, salad eating man, after telling you all of this, do you plan to continue eating salad? I mean, do you plan to eating lettuce?
Well, a couple things come to mind, Juliet.
Okay.
Number one, scientifically, she makes a really good case, right? By the book, she makes a good case. She's got data, numbers, facts, whatever. I get that, right? I have a few things to say. Number two, something that says often around my house, don't yuck my yum. You know what I mean? I like salads, so I'm going to continue to eat salads. And number three, this is a concept that we revisit often here on Food News, is I understand what you're saying, and you do make a great point in terms of nutrition, delivery, and what my body needs. But are we going to reduce food to just a pill we take in the morning and then move on with our lives? Or a sustenance shake in the morning? I enjoy eating, and I enjoy eating salads. I get joy from eating the salad, and maybe it is mostly water, and it kind of gives my stomach a fake feeling of being full, which is why I eat something unhealthy an hour and a half later. And that's fine with me. And I'm very happy with my routine. I enjoy salads, so don't take that away from me. I like it. And I also, she's
going to continue with salads.
I do put lots of other vegetables in salads, and I put proteins in there too. And maybe the lettuce itself isn't delivering me the nutrients, but I like to think that the other things I put on do.
I started thinking what is the point of a salad? When I'm ordering a salad, what am I hoping to get out of it? It brings you joy. I don't think a Caesar salad brings me joy, but I don't think most of it does. So I was so I started thinking how else can I have a great, easy, healthful lunch? And there's plenty of other ways. I just have to get more creative. I just feel salad culture is part of American culture. It's one of the reasons why we eat so much of it.
Yes.
And it's there. Also, it's available.
Sometimes I'm halfway through a salad. It's sort of when I'm halfway through a workout. I'm just what am I doing this for? You know what I mean? Sometimes halfway through a really hard workout, I'm what is the point? I'm married. I've been with the same woman for 20, 40 years. I don't need to be in shape. This sucks. Why don't I just stop doing this? Sometimes I'm halfway through a salad. I'm this is a chore. I feel like I'm at work right now.
I think you do a lot of it for you because it makes you feel good. I know you.
Yeah, of course. I'm vain. I only care about myself. I'm selfish.
It's not just about vanity, though. It's just not just about how you look. It's how you feel. There's scientific benefit to it.
But I definitely do feel that there's a little bit of Trojan horse to the salad because I end up hungry an hour and a half later and I get a slice of pepperoni pizza. Yeah. And what's the point of why am I being healthy? Why not just eat the pepperoni pizza for lunch? You know what I mean?
I just thought it was an interesting point. And I was why do we eat so many salads? And what is a salad? You know what I mean? When you get a tomato, a caprese salad, which is tomato, and mozzarella and basil. Like I really prefer that, but like that has nothing to do with like just salad.
Yeah, there's certain how do you feel about salads that don't involve lettuce? I want to ask this too.
Good.
Yeah, I feel
good. I love a slaw. Like I love slaws for that reason. Like a nice vinegary one. It's very similar.
I love coleslaw.
Yeah.
We've never talked about coleslaw on Food News before. I'm sure we have.
I love coleslaw too. Well, we actually have recently because I mentioned that Micah likes coleslaw, and you're like, how would you even know that?
Yes.
But we didn't really talk about it on a personal level. That's correct.
What do you think about the Greek salads, which are huge chunks of tomatoes and peppers and feta, and it's just sort of like nothing else? There's no lettuce and nothing else, just like big chunks of stuff.
I love like an Israeli salad as well, which is like a similar kind of idea. Like I love all of those. So I prefer them to like a leafy lettuce salad. So I think this might be the direction I'm going in. Mediterraneans, they always know how to do it best when it comes to food. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to a New York Times trend piece, which is somewhat reassuring. This is about the prevalence of the Aperol Spritz and how much people and how bartenders feel about it. And I thought this was pretty interesting because I never really thought about what does a bartender think about my order. Because most of my orders are pretty embarrassing, so I just have to live with that myself. My go-to order these days, if I'm drinking, is white wine with seltzer, like a white wine spritzer, which is not exactly what this is about. That's like a pretty embarrassing drink, and I just have to live with it because that's what I like. So I know I'm being judged.
I don't think you should be embarrassed or feel judged. You should get what you want, but you'll never believe this.
Yeah, of course.
But I often consider how the bartender will feel about what I order, and I often consider, like, am I making the bartender do something they don't want to do? You know what I mean? Like, if you go to a bar, never order a mojito. And if it's not the type of place that like sort of offers and features espresso martinis, don't go to an Irish pub and ask for an espresso martini. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, great news about the Aperol Spritz for that reason. A lot of bartenders have no problem with the Aperol Spritz because it's really easy to make. They can make it in the glass, no extra like barware needed. They don't have to like shake anything or get like tons of different materials for it. And in general, everyone's on board. The thing that I find the most interesting about the Aperol Spritz is that it just feels like everybody agrees. Everyone involved, from the people who sell the Aperol to the people who make the Spritzes, people who drink them. We are all drinking Aperol Spritzes because, I don't know if you are, Jacoby. I don't see you having them.
Oh, I've had them sometimes. They're everywhere. I mean, they are everywhere.
And that is a result of a marketing campaign by Campari. Like, it's a very concerted effort over many years that has been successful. And this article just sort of like almost takes it as a given. And it's just sort of like, it just is. That's why we're all doing this. It's kind of like one of the most successful marketing things I can think of.
It is. It's sort of like that story of how they introduced coffee to Japan. You know what I mean? It's like, we've been incepted by this drink. There's a couple things that I think contributed to the blow up of this drink. Number one, I don't know if you know this. I started noting this around the pandemic and right before the pandemic. Aperol gave away a bunch of awnings, or not awnings, like umbrellas to restaurants, and they're Aperol branded. So all of a sudden in the summertime, when people drink the most spritzes, the Aperol brand is like at eye level, almost outside most outdoor seating areas. Now that I'm saying that, you can see it, right? Like
totally, I feel like I've seen them also just in pictures too.
I think they just gifted these things to bars and restaurants.
They did. It was part of the marketing campaign.
Brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And the Hugo Spritz is also becoming a thing. And one of the things that I do like about an Aperol Spritz is it's not wine, it's not a cocktail, and it's a good sort of like day drink. It's basically Prosecco with Campari and a little bit of seltzer. It's not that complicated. It's nice on the stomach. It doesn't really get you intoxicated. Like, I can't imagine how many Aperol Spritzes I would have to drink to like really get messed up. But and I think that this piece was interesting, and its headline is like, what does the bartender think about Aperol Spritzes? But I really think it's just sort of like a peg to talk about Aperol Spritzes, because the bartenders, guess what?
Definitely.
They don't mind. You know what I mean? Like, across the board,
totally.
They're like, sure, go for it.
I learned and did not know previously, I guess that's the definition of learning, that the Aperol Spritz
that was low-key hilarious. That was low-key one of the funniest things you've ever said, and you just breezed right past it. Look, I guess that's the definition of learning. Something I didn't know before, then acquired the knowledge. That is the definition of learning. I did that. That was awesome.
Well, I acquired the information that the Aperol Spritz is from Venice. And according to one Venice native, a man named Marco Salvadori.
You're going to say it.
Quote, it was drunk by gondoliers and prostitutes.
I can't think of people I want to be associated with more. I mean, this I've got in my notes, I've got gondoliers and prostitutes in huge caps, bolded and underlined. Because when I started thinking back of like old, like 1930 Venice, and like after a long day of prostituting and gondoliering, they just like belly up to the bar next to each other, and the gondoliers got his outfit on, and the prostitutes got their outfit on, and they're just belly up to the bar with this look on their face like, oh my God, like I've been rowing this boat all day. She's been doing what she's doing all day. And they both look at the bartender and they're like, Aperol Spritz, please. I just want to move on with that day.
Just give it to me.
Gondoliers
I like
and
that
prostitutes.
idea that it's like, that the Aperol Spritz was like a cheap beer for some people.
Yes,
like
that's what he was trying to say, that it wasn't like classy or whatever. But I mean, And then I started thinking about the life of a gondolier. I think you have to sing, right? Don't they sing?
I've never been to Venice. I've only been to the Venetian in Las Vegas, so I don't know.
I went to Venice with former best friend Mike, and it is so romantic there that I was just like, do we have to make out now? I was just like, we were eating pasta on the canals. I'm just like, I think we have to make out. Like, I really think that's the only thing that's appropriate.
Was it the same trip when you guys sold cigarettes and he got arrested?
Yes, that was the same trip. It was previously, before we started our smuggling business. We had a romantic moment on a canal with a gondolier.
Every time Europe comes up, this trip comes up. And when we were in Spain, we talked about it so much.
It was quite a trip. I'm telling you, that cigarette smuggling story is like, honestly, like a 90-minute story. That is not like a 90-second story. But for our Food News listeners, I give you the elevator version.
Okay, let's move on. BuzzBallz, on the topic of alcohol. Pop-Tarts is releasing a limited edition product you won't want to miss. It's a Pop-Tart BuzzBall collab with 2 flavors, frosted s'mores and frosted brown sugar cinnamon. I love Pop-Tarts, particularly the s'mores one. So really? Good. Although I haven't had it in a long time. Yeah, I love Pop-Tarts. Delicious. I have no interest in drinking this at all.
So the Pop-Tart BuzzBallz collaboration is cool or whatever, but like BuzzBallz have been sort of the moment. I don't know if this is a marketing thing like Aperol, but there was a piece, I think in the New York Post, about how the younger generation is offsetting the cost of going out and drinking with BuzzBallz. And sure, go ahead.
The alcohol content is really high 15%. In this little thing. It's 15%. That's a lot.
And so
that's 30 proof.
They're everywhere. Like you can get them at 7-Elevens. They're like that sort of liquor that you can kind of get anywhere. You don't have to be at a liquor store.
Right.
And I'm walking down the street in New York City, and there's these 2 Aussies. And I'm Australian now because we went there for 10 days. And we started talking to each other, and they went to me and they're like, can we get BuzzBallz? I was like, yeah, dude, we can get BuzzBallz. And they were like, it was one of those things where it was just like, we've heard about these things in America. They treated them like it was like seeing the Statue of Liberty or something. They're like, are there BuzzBallz here? It's like, yeah, let's go. So we go into 7-Eleven, I buy them BuzzBallz, and you chug them like a shot is kind of like what I've learned. I'm not in the BuzzBall culture, but I really think it is like a pregame thing because the prices of drinks are so high now that I think people are just going to 7-Eleven,
this is like $5,
grabbing a couple BuzzBallz, chugging them, and then going to the bar and like slow playing a beer. I had a great time with those guys. BuzzBallz are real. This is like a real thing that's happening.
When and where did this occur?
30th and 6th Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it recent?
Yes, it was about 4 months ago. And we had so much fun together. We had so much fun together.
How is this not PFN 4 months ago?
It's kind of embarrassing. We went out. I just bumped into these dudes, started talking, and then we go inside 7-Eleven. I'm about buying BuzzBallz. We go outside, we chug them, and we're such bros that I go back inside and buy another round of BuzzBallz, and then we chug those, and then we went our separate ways.
Did you get their numbers?
No, nothing. Not names, numbers, no social handles, anything. It was just like one of those things. No, we're not BuzzBall buds forever.
You're not meeting in Venice or anything for your next trip.
I don't think so.
Honestly, Jacoby, this is an insane story. It's not quite the same as the cigarettes, but the part of the insanity is that you've been sitting on it for 4 months. I honestly can't believe this is the first I'm hearing of it.
It was insignificant to me. I didn't even think about it until I saw BuzzBallz.
How frequently are you meeting strangers and immediately having a drink with them?
Twice a week.
Really?
No.
Okay.
It happens.
Okay. All right. I'm really happy for you. That's great. I as you know, I love a great stranger interaction, so I support you.
And there's like the joy, because you know how Australians can get excited, and you know what I mean? They like to party, and these guys were in New York, and they were just like the joy just beaming off of their like aura. It was just like, I just wanted to be around them and be friends with them. They were partying hard, and I just jumped on the train for like 7 minutes and then jumped off. It was like 10 at night. I was going home.
You have to be so committed to partying in New York to travel from Australia to New York and then paying for that and then wanting to spend all the money on partying in New York. So, of course, you're drinking BuzzBallz.
They also clearly had like no set plan or like a venue they were headed towards. They were just sort of like out and about being Australian.
Well, they're on 30th and 6th. So that tracks for me because otherwise... Why are you there? I recently read an article that I think described 31st and Broadway as the most chaotic block in New York. So, agreed.
Very familiar with that block. Great.
Right, well.
Great city bike location.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Of city bikes right there.
Wow. I guess because it's like near Herald Square and Macy's and stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a good subway station there. The 32nd Street exit of the...
you don't think I know every single? And my barber used to be at that exit. You know, there's like a little like it's now closed. There used to be like an underground. I used to get my haircut right there.
Oh, interesting. That is also, I believe, Koreatown in New York. So there's like a lot of good food right there too.
Absolutely.
If you go east, not west. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Just a bit of Love Island lore. Ariana was doing an event at the 92nd Street Y, and the moderator asked her about the food on Love Island. You watched this past season, right?
Of course.
Well, the water bottle, as you know, is very important to me. The Love Island water bottle is sort of like receded. It's no longer an icon. And now I think like, what's the biggest icon of Love Island? Maybe, at least in the US, maybe Ariana. Anyway, she was talking about the food situation. And in case anyone was ever wondering, they have a pantry for like, non-refrigerated food. And then in that kitchen that you see all the time, they have a refrigerator. And both of them have like a false back so that production can just put more stuff in there at will and they never run out. So there's always like a constant stream of food available to the Islanders. I thought that was like fairly interesting. And the Islanders, of course, I'll just let you know, they make breakfast themselves and they do catering lunch and dinner. But they're not allowed to talk during it, like, and it's segregated by sex, because they don't want any like storylines to transpire during meals. And they like are contractually obligated to give them breaks for meals.
I would have a lot of trouble being on Love Island in that sort of environment and not talking throughout the entire meal. I would have a lot of trouble with it. Everything that's going on.
Yes, you would.
All those romantic relationships.
I'm aware.
All those like things that someone just gets back from a date and you're like, it's dinner time, you can't talk. I'd be like, no way. I'm just going to break.
There could be nothing going on and you would have a hard time with that role. Like, I don't think you could survive it. It's probably why you couldn't go on Love Island.
One of the things I want to ask you about Love Island, you and I both love reality television, is my knowledge retention of Love Island seasons. It's like the second the finale is over, I just drag it to the trash.
If it's a good season, I hold on to it. I remember it because I like want to follow the people. But if it's a bad season, I'm just like, okay, let's move on. This past season, I don't care about the people at all. So I just don't really care.
I spent 100 hours with these people. And if someone put a gun in my head and was like, name 5 Love Islanders from last season, I would have trouble, honestly. I could do it.
Did you watch all of it? You could do
most of it. Probably 70% of it.
I thought it was decent. You just get so deep into it. Like, people care about this kitchen and this pantry because like you just join this world for 6 weeks. You're just like in it. And then it's just like, you're gone. It's a lot like camp, honestly. It's one of the reasons why I've always liked the show. It reminds me of the camp experience. It's like so immersive, so intense, and so short-lived. Yeah. But like, you always remember your camp experiences. I remember watching Love Island more than I remember the people. But I like remember where I was in my life when I watched the show.
Yeah, I mean, they should really reconsider because it's always up against the NBA playoffs, and I've only got so much time in my day. You know what I mean? I really want the producers to move it. They just need to counter program. I gotta watch the
true.
Hawks,
like
Knicks.
Starting early June doesn't go great for us. Yeah. Okay, one last story from the New York Post, and this is about the decline of the 24-hour diner. I'll just say that for me, as a city kid, the 24-hour diner was so important to me. I spent a lot of late nights at my 24-hour diner, which is no longer 24 hours. And basically, the point of this article is why are there no more 24-hour diners? For me, and this article kind of confirmed it, my diner stopped being 24 hours around COVID. Like COVID just sort of like ended all night things, and a lot of them never came back. But there's also some other ones like labor shortages, and also something we come back to constantly: younger Americans drinking less, therefore less of a late night meal demand. Also, the pandemic, the role of GLP-1s, and just in general, 24/7 food service is in a decline, which is sad. I love an all-night place. Like, as someone who's an insomniac, I am very aware wherever I am, even if it's like for 2 nights, what opens first. Like, I can tell you wherever I've been in like the last 3 years, it has a place that opens like at 6 o'clock because like I might be there because I wake up so early. Oh. So this is very sad to me.
Oh, you know what? A couple things. Number one, it seems that we're blaming everything on young people drinking less. And I think young people drinking less is a positive thing. You know what I mean? It just feels like, oh, well, the diners are closing, young people drinking less. The bars are closing because restaurants are closing because young people drinking less. It's like, it's honestly like they need to start a campaign like, young people, drink more. It's like, isn't this a good thing, right? It seems like a healthy thing for society for people to drink less.
I think what it calls out is how much the economy relied on people drinking alcohol, and like why the alcohol lobby is like powerful the way that like cigarettes were, basically. Yes. It kind of reminds me of the meme from a couple weeks ago that was like the like economists fear the U.S. economy is becoming too dependent on Anne Hathaway.
I saw that. It was brilliant. Brilliant.
It's so good.
I think it was an Onion post, I want to say. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. It was really funny. And, something for us to consider with alcohol. Like, we need to diversify before we have an Anne Hathaway situation.
It's very fair.
An all-night diner?
Not growing up, but certainly in New York. TikTok, which isn't too far from 30th and 6th, which is on 34th and 8th, was my all-night diner. And this is like pre-Joey. It would be a place where if you were at a nightclub and you met some people that you wanted to spend time with, but they weren't inviting you to their place and you weren't necessarily ready to invite them to your place. It was just sort of like, after the club, let's go to a diner. One dirty secret about New York City, and I bet a lot of these 24/7 diners, full liquor license and will serve you after 4 a.m. So you can kind of keep the party going.
Exactly. It's back to young people not drinking enough. When I was a little kid, they had like one of those paper menus that like listed all these different drinks with like the menu for it. But when I was learning to read, like a major thing that I would do with my dad was like read the liquor like paper menu placemat at my diner.
and you've now read thousands and thousands of books. You know what I mean? You've read more books than most people I know. And it all started with like a Harvey Wallbanger.
A Tom Collins.
Yeah. That's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay, great Jacobs. Let's get into the taste test. Last week you provided. This week, it's on me. So I'm sort of in back to school mode, not because I have someone going back to school in my home, but because like mentally September is just like when the year starts for me, and like all of the like New Year's stuff people do, I think about for September. And I've been thinking a lot about meal planning and easy meals for myself. And so I was in the grocery store today and I couldn't help but notice a large shelf of like instant ramen noodle inspired types of things. But there's been so much innovation in the space that I was like, you know what, let's just try them out to see if these could be part of my future. So I have one more classic and one sort of newish one. So the newish one that I haven't heard of before is Annie Chun's Pad Thai.
Oh.
It took about 3 minutes to make it. Here it is. And then I had one from the instant ramen Maruchan brand that we will talk about in a second. But
let's make
one with Annie Chun's.
Does it come in a bowl that you add water to, or do you add it to water?
It comes in part of my reach. Mm-hmm. It comes in this white bowl that I've covered with wrap.
Okay, I see.
So that it can be nice and warm.
So that's one of the delineating things for me when it comes to sort of instant noodles is like, do I put it in a pot or does it like do I put the water into it?
No.
Okay, great.
This is when you put water into it. If you were in college, this would be a good option for you. And then it comes with a sauce packet that you put on after. It has very specific instructions. It gives you like freeze-dried vegetables that you're supposed to put on the bottom, and then you put the noodle brick on top of it. Then it goes in the microwave for 2 minutes. You let it sit, and then you put the sauce in, and then the peanuts. I'm going to take a bite.
It looks good. There's a lot of peanuts involved. That looks pretty solid. It looks noodle forward.
The noodle texture is pretty good. The sauce is not really pad thai. It's a little bit more of like a hoisin sauce than I was expecting. But this is pretty good. In a pinch, if I like really need something quick, keep this in your desk. Okay. I think this is also something that you could like improve.
What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah. If
you want like noodles, you could throw some tofu in here. You could throw some old vegetables in here. Like this could be your base for clearing out your fridge. On its own, it's not exactly hitting for me, but I would recommend this for like jump-starting your weeknight dinner. Add in some meat, add in some tofu, add in some vegetables, maybe some like chili crisp or something else like that. It's pretty cheap and it was really quick. Like it's quicker than making noodles. So that's a plus for sure.
That's good. One thing that I think is as you get older, you have to take a ramen, like an instant ramen, and use that as a base for other things. Like one of the things that I do is I'll put, because it's protein and everybody talks about protein all the time, I'll boil a couple of hard-boiled eggs and put them in like 4 minutes before I put the ramen in for 3 minutes. And then you've got sort of like a more proteiny, substantial meal.
The first person I ever saw do that was Dave Chang. I saw like a video or like an article he wrote like a long time ago, like how to improve your instant ramen. And it was like, adding an egg and other spices. So this is cool. I was Googling Annie Chun's. I was like, this is such nice packaging. I want to know more about this brand. And their website doesn't have their brand story. And I just want to say that I've reached the point in my life where like, I really want to know about the person behind every brand. And I'm just like, tell me more. How can I get this information?
Girl, do you know how much Panda Express I'm going to eat now? Because I know that the couple's been together for 50 years and they're awesome. And they don't want to go public because they don't need the money. They don't want to deal with other people's bullshit. I love the church.
I'm sure there's some downsides we don't know about. But also on the Today Show segment, they talked about like keeping work-life balance for their employees, having their employees' salaries rise with inflation. Like they seem very focused on like having their employees have good lives. Okay, this one is more of like a high-end instant ramen. It's I thought I spelled it, did not. It's called a Maruchan Yakisoba. This one is like spicy. It looks more like ramen. It also came with some freeze-dried noodles. It has a powder. Freeze-dried vegetables. It has a powder versus like a sauce that you put on it, and it's spicy. This one's more classic. I have to say, I feel like a little bit more positive about it, though I haven't even tasted it yet. And who knows how the spice is going to go for me. But like, it feels like a higher end version of the ramen brick that I also love. Tastes exactly like that. No difference at all.
No difference at all. So I'm curious, when I make ramen, there's always some
too spicy for me.
Soup.
I need to have coffee.
We got that ceramic. The ceramic's going to make another appearance. Juliet is struggling right now. Food News listeners know that Juliet
also don't recommend coffee following up your instant ramen. It's not really a combination I recommend.
Yeah. But I always turn my ramen into ramen soup. And I was curious to see that your noodles were dry.
Well, I followed the directions. I was just trying to like be true to this project,
That's a great point.
Okay. So here's where I'm at as I'm thinking about this. These kinds of like thicker noodles that can be a base that are not spicy, that's intriguing to me. And I think I need some instant noodles for that reason to help kickstart my my weekend dinners. Okay. Amazing. Thanks for coming on this journey with me.
I really appreciate you sacrificing the spiciness.
I'm having a hard time
for
here.
Food News.
I wish I had water right now.
Your coffee's not doing it? I appreciate you sacrificing for Food News. I really, really do. Yeah, coffee and ramen do not go together.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, personal food news time. I've been having a lot of ice cream. It's the summer. Just like loving it. And usually I just like go plain. I have, I'm a big cookies and cream girl these days. I love a home cookies and cream ice cream, like from Hood or Turkey Hill, or they're almost all good. It's like hard to mess up cookies and cream. I've been having that a lot. In the last week, I've just decided to kick it up a notch. Bam! And I've added Ready Whip, but store brand Ready Whip. And it's like slightly sweetened. And I've been doing rainbow sprinkles.
I gotta tell you, you're making sundaes at your house?
The home sundae is so good.
You are
the home
living.
Sundae is, you can really control a lot of variables. So like, it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a completely decadent experience, but it's more exciting and more fun and more sweet than just like your regular ice cream at home. It really, really elevates it. And I wasn't aware of how much the toppings added, particularly at home. So like my new take is when you're getting really good ice cream, whether it's at your local scoop shop or like a Van Leeuwen or my preference Haagen-Dazs, you don't really need the toppings because it's like so good at the scoop shop. But at home, it's just not the same quality. It can be very good, but it's not the same. The toppings go so far. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Maybe other people are interested in adding some whipped cream from the can to their nightly ice cream experience.
Sprinkles, Juliet. Home sprinkles.
Home sprinkles, so good.
I've never considered home sprinkles in my entire life. No.
Oh, I've gone through phases, but I'm currently in one.
I love it. One thing I used to do is take Oreos and put them in a Ziploc bag and smash them and put them on top of my ice cream.
Smart. Yeah, that's really good. I've done that with graham crackers.
With
delicious.
Coffee ice cream. I really like coffee ice cream. Smashing up Oreos and putting them in coffee ice cream. And another thing that I would do is I would literally take the bowl of ice cream in my spoon, and I had this technique where I would stir it for like 3 minutes, and it turns into soft serve.
Yeah, so it's delicious. We used to do that in college, and we used to call them I can't remember, but we used to do that all the time. Delicious. You're gonna do your personal food news, but I have some like personal questions for you about food.
Okay, good. I'm glad you added the about food part, because I was like, I don't know if this is the forum, Juliet. You have my phone number.
If I call you think that something's wrong.
Yeah. You paused. You were like, I have some personal questions for you about food. I was like, thank God.
You flew to Los Angeles with 3 minors, aged 13, 10, and 17 months. And I'm curious what the food experience was like. Did you bring snacks? Did you buy food in the airport? Did you eat food that was given to you on the plane? Like, tell me everything. I'm so curious.
It was pretty disastrous across the board. Just disaster.
What happened?
We're flying New York to LA, and I like to eat before I get on the plane, or I like to stop at one of those places and get like a sandwich and a hummus and like prepare it. If I'm flying by myself,
sure.
I walk on, because I generally fly economy, I walk on with like enough sustenance so it's like a meal
food bag
plus. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like I'm never wanting for food. And my son loves to fly, right? And we have a stroller and a baby, so we can board early if we want to. We get to the airport. It's a 12:10 flight. And at 11:15, my wife calls, and it's like, because she booked the tickets through her miles or whatever. She's like, they're boarding. And the second that my son finds out they're boarding, he snaps. He's like, we have to get on the plane, because he loves being on the plane. So like me being like, no, let's get a sandwich was like robbing him of the experience. Me and him getting an argument. We're both having complete breakdowns. Totally me too. Like, this is not like me blaming my son. This is me just like flying with 3 kids and just like not being on my best behavior. So we're arguing in front of everybody in the plane. Heads are turning. We got snacks and such. We went to like a Hudson News type of place and got snacks across everything. Like, we've got waters, electrolytes, Cheez-Its, just anything we think the baby will eat. Everyone's allowed to get their own snacks. So we kind of went with snacks, but the problem was we didn't get food. Usually,
no meal.
I plan on getting like a real meal, like a Jersey Mike's sandwich or something, but we never had that opportunity because my son wanted to get in the plane so bad. And then we waited in the line instead of going to the front of the line, because I kind of felt weird being like, I have a baby, let me cut these 100 people that are already online. And I don't like getting on the plane early, because then you just sit there.
Because then you're just on the plane.
Yeah, it's like there's just more time on the plane. But I wasn't empathetic enough to my son's experience of like, because me being on a plane is boring. Him being on a plane is like Disneyland. So there's a real tension there. So we started off the flight terribly. And then little did I know that my daughter, the 17-month-old, was ill. I didn't know that. It's like she's been behaving very normally up to the flight, but she refused to eat anything, refused to drink anything, complained the entire time. And then you've got the annoying baby on the flight. So you want to spread the annoying baby around the flight. You know what I mean? So I'm walking her around. I'm going to the back. I got kicked out of the the flight attendants area. They were very polite about it. They're like, "Oh, we need this space to for our next service." They're kind of just like, "Stop standing here with your annoying baby, dude." And it was a pretty disastrous flight. But to answer your question, we got snacks, but not enough. And then we had to buy those boxes. I don't know who they make those boxes for, but they just never hit. The
boxes are awful.
They never hit.
Awful.
Like, I would for free spend a week of my time just re-engineering those boxes.
You don't need a week because they put so little thought into them that you could in an hour improve them.
I'm just like, who is this for? They should really be like, all right, this is for the person that doesn't care about health and just wants to like enjoy their flight. This is for the person that's like vegan. This is for, you know what I mean? They just kind of like try to make these things to please everybody and they don't, and they're terrible. And I ended up spending like, I don't know, $50 on boxes. But one last thing to put a button on this. My son.
Okay.
I love United so much. My son pushed the podcast button.
Oh, cool.
What is right in the middle? There's 3 podcasts pop up. What is the middle podcast on the first page? Like when you push the podcast button, Flying United. What logo do you see, Juliet Litman?
Food news.
Food news. Honestly, I was like, I think we made it. I think we made it.
That's awesome.
It felt so
awesome.
good.
If your kid cares about the airplane experience, what's better than that?
Yeah. And he was like, Dad, he like hit me. He's like, Dad, look, food news. And I was just like, what? He's like, I just pushed podcast. It's right there. And I was like, that's amazing. Nice. Honestly, I was like,
that's really cool.
Juliet. Yeah.
Nice.
I totally forgot to tell you about that. It was great. Shout out to United. I love United.
That's great. Love it. Okay.
Yes.
Any other food news you wanted to share?
Yeah, I've got a personal food news.
Okay.
So I'm in Los Angeles.
Is it about ice cream?
Yeah, it is actually. I'm in Los Angeles. And we had to sort of like, I have work while I'm here and so does my wife. So we kind of had to book these days into like certain sections of Los Angeles. And there was the first full day that we had everybody. Like, we're going to sort of the Times Square of Los Angeles. We're going to Hollywood and Highland, right? Just so they can like see the Chinese theater and like kind of like, you know, it's like going to Times Square when you're traveling to New York as well. Like, get your eyes on it. We know it's trash. But whatever, get your eyes on it.
Say that you've been there, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You just want to see it. Like seeing the Hollywood sign. It's like, we saw the Hollywood sign. We're walking down the street and my son freaks out. He goes, Mishwe. And I'm just like, what? He's like, we're going to Mishwe, right, Dad? And I, do you know what Mishwe is?
No.
Okay, neither did I. I had no idea. I think it's one of these things that like kids are into, but it's Mixue. I see you're Googling. And what happened is the way it worked out time-wise and just like vibe-wise and food-wise, we didn't get to go to it. So then we went to the Griffith Observatory and we're driving home. And he's like, you owe me a Mishwe. And I was like, bro, I got you. Right. So the closest one, there's not too many. The closest one is that one in Hollywood and Highland, but I didn't want to park because you know how it is there. So we drive by. He's like, I know exactly what I want.
It's horrible.
Like, we drive by. I'm like, and the baby was sleeping. So I'm like, Quincy, tell me what you want. You stay in the car. I'll come back with the Mishwe. He starts talking about Mishwe. I know nothing about this, but he you know him. He likes knowledge. He's like, they own the farms and the entire supply chain. That's why their prices are so low. And I was like, interesting. A soft serve cone at Mishwe. If you're listening to Food News or watching, right now in your head, just guess how much a soft serve vanilla cone is there. You're wrong. It's $1.19. $1.19.
Guess $3.99. So
$1.19. And then they have like bobas, like milk teas. I had a milk tea, and it was like $3.99. And again,
wow.
I don't know if this is true or not, but my son is like, because they own the supply chain. Like, it's a Chinese company. This is all coming from a 13-year-old. So I guess they like have farms, so no one's sort of like getting a margin off of them through the supply chain. And the people were very nice.
I think he's correct based on Google, just so you know.
Yeah, and the people were very nice there. There was a man outside of, how do you say, ill report? He had 2 black eyes and he was blocking the door and he had a dog. And that was an element that was very Hollywood and Highland.
Sounds like Hollywood and Highland, yeah.
But then a lady walks out with 2 cones and hands him one, and the 3 of them walk away. I'm like, they just wanted some affordable soft serve on a hot day. And it was very hot. And then when we were leaving, I'm with the twins. When we're leaving, the twins are cute and young and stuff. And Chloe always is like, thank you, have a nice day. And they're like, wait, did we give you fans? Remember, it's like 100 million degrees outside. And then they hand us fans that say, I love Mishwe on it. It was a great experience.
Oh, that's great. Love that. Yeah. I have huge news.
What's that?
There's a Mishwe on 32nd and Broadway. Corner we were just discussing.
Yeah. We'll get city bikes. We'll go there and have a Mishwe experience.
I can't ride a bike, so I'll take the subway and meet you there.
Oh my God, I forgot you can't ride a bike. It's one of the weirdest things in the world. It's one of the strangest things in the world. My son could ride a bike when he was like 2.5.
All right, that's great.
How are you going to teach Micah how to ride a bike?
You can teach him. You love bikes.
I love bikes.
Teach him and Colette at the same time.
Can I give you one more very quick personal food news just because I'm traveling?
Sure.
We went to Universal on the hottest day of the year. We've completely hacked Universal. Didn't wait online for anything. I'm going to gatekeep that one forever. DM me if you really need to know if you're going there. I won't be going, but cool. I did not wait online, but it was so hot. And we went to this one place in Super Mario World to get food, Super Mario Cafe. We get there. They're like, do you have reservations? I'm like, what? They're like, you need reservations to eat here. I'm like, what is going on? So we made reservations and then we got there. When you get there, it's just a regular. I thought I was expecting something completely different. But my son ordered the meatball challenge. And I didn't know that because I was walking the crying baby around while they were ordering. And then afterwards I said to him, I was like, never, ever order anything that has the word challenge in it. Because it was a 1 pound meatball that was spicy.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, dude, just imagine the size of this meatball. Because when he said he ordered meatballs, they also have spaghetti and meatballs. You opted not to get the spaghetti and meatball, to get the meatball challenge. I was like, never order
spaghetti
anything
and meatball sounds
challenge.
Good.
Yeah, because I was looking at everyone's food because walking around the perimeter of the restaurant because the baby was crying. So that's my personal food news. Shout out to Mishwe.
Good luck with the rest of your trip. And just administrative note, no show next week because Jacoby is driving from LA to Denver on Route 66. So I can't wait to hear about the food update when you get back to New York.
As we get closer, I'm drilling down on some of the logistics. This is gonna be something.
There's a reason why I've been asking you for months to film this. So
this is
just report back.
I don't know if I'm going to report back. I think there's going to be a mutiny halfway through the trip, and they're going to kick me out of the car. They're going to be like, "Dad, you're walking the plank," and I'm just going to turn into a skeleton on the side of the road in Flagstaff.
For it to be a mutiny, you have to be in charge, and I have a feeling you won't be in charge.
Fair point. That's a really good point.
Okay, on to today's listener food news.
Hey, Juliet and Jacoby. This is Hillary calling in from Pittsburgh. First time, long time. I have a fish stick follow-up for you. Whenever I was little, my dad and I would go fishing at a pond by our house. And after we'd get back, my parents would sneak down to the convenience store that was a few minutes down the road and buy frozen fish sticks and pretend that we were eating the tiny little sunfish that I'd caught. Looking back, it's extra comical because there's no way that wasn't a catch and release pond, nor could you make a fish stick out of those tiny little things. But that is what I think of when I think of fish sticks, and I honestly don't think I've seen them since I was about 5 years old. My question for you is, with fall upon us and fall beverage menus now dropping in August, do you have a time frame that you follow for enjoying seasonal beverages? I personally don't want pumpkin anywhere near my coffee, but I absolutely love a pumpkin beer. They have been out now for weeks in the store, but I personally cannot have one until it is at least September and less than 70 degrees outside. I'm curious what your take is on this. Anyways, love the pod, and I hope to hear from you soon.
That was touching.
That's a crazy fish stick story.
That was touching. That was like something from like a Hallmark movie. Like, I don't know. You always say like making memories, and you think like going to Universal and eating a 1 pound meatball is like, costing whatever, how much it costs, whatever. But like, no, going to the pond, catching a tiny fish, and then going to get fish sticks and pretending that was the fish that you caught is just touching. It's really touching.
It is cute. It's cute. Thanks for thinking of us too.
Yeah. To answer her question, why don't you start? Because I feel like a couple things. Number one, Juliet, I want to celebrate you for a second. I really think that September 1st should be the new year. I think that you make it's much more of a transition point in the calendar than anything else. Like, you're kind of in the middle of the year. You know what I mean? I feel like January 1st is not that much different than the previous 2 months, but September 1st is a hard reset. Like, people are at work and like kids go to school. I think, you know what? I'm going to start a petition for the new year to be September 1st. And you're on it. We'll call it Juliet's New Year.
Thank you so much. How about just the Juliet New Year, like the Chinese New Year?
Yes,
the Juliet New Year.
Yes, the Juliet New Year. On September 1st, I'm going to send you a text. Happy Juliet New Year.
The American calendar New Year is too close to the Chinese New Year, and I'm sure the Chinese New Year predates it. So, like, what are we doing? We're such biters, all of us in the Western world. Yeah. To answer this question, for me, it's like absolutely not before September 1st. And I think it's mostly after school has started. Now, I understand school starts in August in like most of the country. In my mind, school doesn't start until like September 3rd. It's way too late this year in New York. That's a different podcast. But I think it's like it's a second week of September kind of thing. It's like when you can really turn the page. Like give yourself a grace period in early September to like still feel the summer vibes, still have your barbecue and go for a swim after the first day of school or whatever. But then I think it's time to move on. You know, break out some new shoes, change over your closets, and have a pumpkin spice latte. I will say a pumpkin spice latte as a warm beverage has no appeal to me whatsoever, but I'm kind of curious in a cold one. Yeah, I don't want a pumpkin spice hot latte.
I don't really enjoy the pumpkin spice. Just like the flavor itself doesn't really do it for me. I don't care about the cachet.
I like a pumpkin muffin.
I find pumpkin to be fascinating because we have all these
divisive, actually.
We have all these pumpkin flavored things, but we have very little pumpkin dishes. You know what I mean? Like, and pumpkins.
Well, it's because it has no flavor.
People don't eat pumpkins. They just really don't.
Yeah, it's not
good. They carve them and put them on their doorstep. But like, there's so much pumpkin flavored things, but there's very little like actual eating of pumpkins in the world. I understand there's pumpkin soups and the pumpkin seeds. I do like roasted pumpkin seeds. Those are good. You ever had those?
Yeah, but all of these pumpkin items require a lot of like cinnamon or sugar. Like it all takes a lot of flavoring. Pumpkin itself, like it's good for moisture in a muffin, but the flavor is like really lacking. So it's really a cinnamon flavor.
To answer this question for her, I know we share this in common, and this is like a very important thing to me that signifies sort of the changing of the seasons is when I transition from cold to hot coffee. You know, it's like you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. You know what I mean? Like when I mark that transition, and I dabble over. You know what I mean? It's not a hard rule, but man, that's my
new rule on it.
Thing.
Is will my hand be too cold to hold this iced coffee? It's not really a calendar thing, but it's like how will it impact my physiology? And so will I be cold?
I've done this before. Have you ever sleeved an iced coffee?
Of course. Yeah, of course. But it's better for the, of course.
Sort of like a koozie vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good for that condensation. Okay. That's what we got for you today. Jacoby, good luck on your journey from California to Colorado. I hope you are safe. I hope you are well. I hope you make it.
I hope you are actually interested in this content because you'll be getting lots of FaceTimes and phone calls then. So you better
I'm really interested.
I am. Pick them up.
I will. Thank you to our producer today, Mike Wargon. We will be back in 2 weeks.